Welcome in, everybody. It's the 5.12 update show. I'll be your host, Agro. It's Cyber Shadows, the name of this update, and it's going to be a good one, but let's be real. They're all good ones. Including in good one patches, like this one, you'll have bug fixes, new item fixes, god balance changes alongside those item balance changes, and of course, some of the new skins, which you just got a preview of right there. And let's start right there. First skin that we want to preview for you guys is Primal Fire Aries. This one is looking real nice. By the way, a little bit of detail on this one that I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more later on in this update show. Usually you can go more in-depth in these skins after the balance section, and that's exactly what you'll have in this one. This is Primal Fire Aries. Next up, Baroness Izanami. Look familiar? Kind of does to me. A little bit of a nod towards Baron Samedi, our newest god here in Smite, and this skin, alongside the next two, will be part of the Divine Uprising Voodoo event. So make sure you grab these up and you'll work your way towards an awesome Tier 5 Bologna skin. Make sure you get all those skins in the Divine Uprising, including Shadow Spirit Apwash. This one, all right, chat, I'm going to be honest with you. Got a little bit of a preview of this one before the update show went live, and this skin is amazing. Already one of my favorites in the game. If you got to play Apwash, this is a skin you got to go with 100%. Oh, man, I can't wait to show you guys all the ability effects and that kind of stuff. You're going to love it. Trust me. Last skin of the patch, Cyberfox Dodgy. Again, this one part of the Divine Uprising event. This one, the namesake or the front runner for this update. Cyber Shadow going alongside that Shadow Spirit Apwash. This one's effects are really cool as well. The ultimate. Yeah, you're going to want to stick around for the ultimate. Trust me on that one. So that does it for the little preview for the skins, but don't worry if you want to get more in-depth on the voice lines and what the effects look like. We're going to be doing that in just a little bit. But before that, let's throw it over to Hindu Man and the illustrious Pon as they go over bugs and balance.
Yeah, I'm just Hindu. He's illustrious. Okay, that makes sense. How you doing, Pon?
Pretty good. I'm recovering from being sick for the last 2 weeks, so hopefully I don't cough too much on the show.
Okay, sick Pom. We'll see how you do.
Yep.
Hopefully you're fine. Let's get things underway and we'll start things off with some bug fixes this week. First of all, gods should no longer fly into the air and die if they become stuck inside walls. Now gods should find the closest safe position and be placed there if they somehow do end up in a wall.
Yes, so this is a long-standing Smite issue that's existed that was really hard to fix. Basically, if your characters, if they got caught in collision, the server and client would disagree and they go flying up to the air.
Yeah.
We made a fix in 5.11 to solve some of these issues, but in 5.12 we're doing even more fixes to make it now that it will try and find the nearest valid location. And so this fixes certain characters like Chernobog especially was the main culprit here. Fenrir also brutalized to get you stuck in walls, so that should be fixed now.
Okay.
If that happens, send us reports, but this should go a long way to fixing that issue.
Next up, fix an issue where party leaders would get an incorrect invite declined pop-up after invites were accepted.
Yep.
Okay. And on to the next couple of quite a few bug fixes just to go through. Spectator, fix an issue where all kills appeared as red team kills. Hooray!
Yes, that
makes
is
it a
really
lot
useful.
easier to cast and know who's killing who. Fire Giant UI icon should now properly appear on gods who have buffed by it. Skip, this is the best part of the patch notes. I've not had
Spectator
this
fixes.
Skip forward key binding has been fixed, and particle FX for which team killed a neutral camp
Should be more visible now.
Okay, it says show be more visible.
Yes, they should be more visible.
Show be more visible. Okay, audio. Next is made a pass on a few voice packs and got abilities for consistent volume. Also, we did do this in 5.11. We're going to continue doing that going forward too. So if you've already seen some of those effects in it, we're going to keep looking at those audio things.
Yeah, and there's a full list on the patch note show of everything that's changed. There's a few god skins as well as a few ability passes.
Next on the list is Baron Samedi, who had a bit of a bug. Just a little bit that was helping him out. Fix an issue where Baron Samedi gained an additional 10% of his magical power while consuming Baron's brew. We also fixed an issue where life of the party couldn't be used while crippled. Now, I know that Baron's brew was a thing that was in test, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
when we were first making this character.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like his potion, and only he got it. And then when we decided to share it, it became like a micromanaging thing where if that gave power, it felt like the weird micromanaging thing that you had to do. So that was removed, but Baron Samedi kept it.
Right.
So that's now removed. He does not get that 10% power anymore, which should go a long way to helping kind of curve the burst.
If he ever needs to be buffed, are we going to bring it back?
Probably not.
Okay. Kernanos, next up, fixed the missing FX on Cursed King Kernanos. items.
Yep.
Also, Chernobog fixed an issue where Chernobog could reveal enemies for longer than intended if he died while using his ultimate. That's interesting. And finally, Naja's armillary sash will no longer go on cooldown if interrupted before it has any gameplay effects.
Yep.
So if that means when you're throwing it out and it's not connected yet and you get hit, it doesn't go on cooldown.
Correct.
Interesting.
Because it hasn't had any gameplay effect yet.
Okay. Next up then, that's all that. We're going quick today, but you know.
Yep. We also have more bug fixes on the actual patch note show. We just decided to highlight the biggest ones for you guys. So there's also a full list of all the changes and bug fixes we've done on the patch notes.
Onto items, then we go. We're going to go through a few little things here to start things off. This is the LAN patch, so that all the pro players will be playing on. So it's going to be one of the smaller patches, which is what we do. But we do have Midsummer coming up.
Yep, so mid-season's coming up. We have a lot of changes planned for that. This patch is much more focused on addressing a few meta concerns that we have, a few small character adjustments that we want to see going forward, a few item adjustments that we want to see going forward to make sure that it's in the best state for LAN as possible. And then 5.13, we'll see some of the more bigger, more game direction changes that will be happening.
We can already see Reinforced Shoes has had a buff. It's going to have increased health from 75 to 100. We're also going to be increasing the max passive stacks from 6 to 7 on this. To follow suit, obviously, Reinforced Shoes and Reinforced Greaves are the same technical item, just one for magical and one for physical. So that's going to have the same buff, increased physical health from 75 to 100, and increased max passive stacks from 6 to 7. What's the reason for this, Palm?
So I think the big thing is we see actually a lot of diversity between the more offensive boots, Warrior Tabby and Ninja Tabby, as well as the mage boots. They have a lot of diversity. People are picking them up depending on the situation. But the more utility-focused ones, the Reinforced Greaves, the Talarias, they're just underrepresented, and so we're giving them small bumps to make sure that their utility-focus, either their tankiness or their movement speed, are really what's being accounted for.
Okay, well, next up is going to be Traveler's Shoes and Talaria boots. Both of these having a very similar adjustment. Traveler's Shoes increased magical power from 20 to 25 on those. A little bit lighter on Talaria boots, increased physical power from 15 to 20. Obviously, physical power, magical power, it makes a bit of a difference.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference there, but mainly just to make sure that these boots compete. We made a few adjustments. Talarias especially were still underperforming compared to Warrior Tabby and Ninja Tabby, like how many people pick them up and how they're utilized. So a little bit more power there, where the Traveler's Shoes was the one that Guardians were more often picking up. So that kind of power difference there makes sense because we don't need to give as much power to those boots because they were already as effective compared to Talarias.
Okay. After that, it's Demonic Grip that's going to get a bit of love this patch. We're going to increase the magical power from 50 to 65. Quite a lot of power on that now.
Yes, so you'll see this along with the other change is we're looking at magical ADCs. Just as a whole, they've all been underperforming. Their itemization is almost there, but it wasn't quite there. Their early game kind of curve was a little bit lower than it could be otherwise, mainly because Demonic Grip is the item we want to fit in there, and so we're giving a bit of power to help that curve. And then the late game option, the Telkine's Ring, is also getting some love, so that they have a more late game option to really help their basic attack damage really excel.
Just leak it even more so. We've not even touched it. Telkine's Ring, here you go. Here's the love for it. Increased magical power from 70 to 90, and increased power scaling of passive from 8% to 10%. So it's going to be wanted to be picked up more often.
Yeah, that's something that, like, once you actually have a lot of magical power online, maybe you got your Bancrofts online, you have the Demonic Grip, you got your boots, maybe you get one more power item in there or not, but you then pick up the Telkines, and your basic attack's going to be hitting a lot harder.
And that's it for items. If you've not had a look at the items yet, let's have a look back at the graphic for you all. Buff, 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 buff.
Yep.
I
and
said
again,
the right amount of buffs too. No nerfs.
No nerfs. And again, this is the 5.12 patch, and so this is kind of lighter on a lot of things. Really targeted. Like the boots are very targeted to make sure that there's good boot diversity. Magical ADCs are underperforming. We are going to have some really kind of cool things coming in 5.13, like a few changes to gods, as well as some new items coming in.
Okay.
Some small spoilers for 5.13, but we can go into god changes now.
Sure. Some of the patches are going to be lighter anyway. You can't have a god every single week, can we? Be a bit much. God balance them. We're going to start things off with Artemis, who's been performing pretty well just lately. She's going to get a bit of a hit, and I think it's a pretty fair one. Caledonian Boar decreased CC immunity on her ultimate from 3 seconds to 1.5 seconds. So cutting the CC immunity in half, but the effectiveness is still there.
Yes, and so Artemis has really had a resurgence recently where her ability to poke and trade people effectively, the early crit, using Caledonian Boar and the movement speed from her 2 and the traps really effectively helps her actually stay kind of safe and really box her opponents. And 3 seconds of CC immunity means that it's really hard to, even if you engage on her in a really positive way, 3 seconds of CC immunity with a movement speed stim and the ability to trap with a stunning boar running around really keeps her alive probably a bit more than she probably deserves to in a lot of situations. And so reducing that means that there's more counterplay opportunity for opponents against Artemis.
Next up is Athena, and Athena's going to get a bit of a nerf too. Decreased base damage from the Defender of Olympus. It was 350 up to 750. It's now going to be 350 up to 670, so a little bit less at the top end. An increased cooldown. It was 110, scaling down to 90 as you rank this up, but it's going to stay at 110 seconds at all ranks.
Yep. And so this is really a targeted change to kind of the global pressure that Athena provides. When it's on a 90-second cooldown, that global pressure allows Athena to do some really crazy things.
Sure.
You can engage really aggressively, taunt, take a whole bunch of damage for your team, back to base and ult, back to the fight. At 110 seconds, having that global pressure means that enemy teams can more often play around it. If Athena's used it, teams can take advantage of that. So we're just giving more opportunity for people to play it around Athena.
Okay, that's a nice fair one to Athena. And then next up is Baroness Izanami. Now, how's Baron been performing so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
A few things that were helping him out were unintended.
The potion thing,
The
for
potion
example.
thing, for example, he was getting extra damage on his Vivid Gaze. He was getting 30% on the second hit instead of 15% as intended. So we have a few fixes coming in here to bring his damage more into line with what he intended, and then a few additional nerfs to make it more focused around the utility and control he provides instead of just being very bursty.
Well, the Baron is going to have, first of all, his Hysteria, as you can see, decreased bonus damage targets. Decreased bonus damage targets take while at max Hysteria. Sorry, I could not read that today. From 25% down to 20%, so a 5% nerf there. Also, Vivid Gaze, as Paul was saying, we fixed an issue where the second beam hit did 30% of the first beam's damage rather than 15%, which was intended. And then we've also reduced the magical power scaling of Vivid Gaze from 80% to 70% on top of that.
Yep.
Not only that, we've also corrected an issue with Wrap It Up, his third ability, where fixed an issue where targets with a root immunity were still being rooted. This is why he was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still good.
So
He's still
Magi's
good.
Blessing will now pop on this. If your Kabrak and your one's active, you get hit by it, you won't be slowed to root anymore.
Yay.
So stuff like that is now working as intended.
And last but not least, Life of the Party. We've decreased the base damage on hit from 140 up to Blaze It. Will now be 100 to 380.
Yep, so very targeted changes towards his ability to burst largely off the ultimate combo. So when you ult and you connect with someone, that burst damage is going to be a little bit less, especially the base damage of it early on. The max Hysteria bonus is going to be toned down a little bit as well. And then Vivid Gaze is going to both be doing less damage on both the Hysteria bonus damage, but the second hit's only going to be doing 15%, and there's less scaling there. So these changes are really helping to bring his burst more into line so that we can really see how he performs as this more utility mage where he brings these really powerful effects to the team instead of just bringing burst.
That's pretty fair.
Which will still be pretty good.
No, sure. I think he will be okay. Camazotz then is next on the list, and a couple of changes here for the young lad in terms of buffs for the young Camazotz. We've increased the base mana on Camazotz from 220 to 240. Essence Drinker, we've increased the lifesteal and healing bonus. It was 3%. It's going to go up to 6%. And last but not least, Screech, is going to have a mana cost reduction. It was 60 to 80. It's now going to be 50 to 70, so 10 at all ranks.
Yep. So these are very targeted changes towards his ability to actually stay out in the game. The early base mana adjustment helps him stay out a little bit more in the early game. The lower cost on Screech helps to make sure that he can actually poke his enemies more effectively instead of having to all in and then back to base. And then the extra sustain he gets from Essence Drinker is going to also keep him healthy and kind of in the middle of a fight. We didn't want to go too much on the damage route to bring him back up because we've seen what that does where he becomes a little bit oppressive. But this kind of nice quality of life to his ability to stay out on the battlefield should help him perform a bit better.
Okay, after Camazotz, we move on to another seed character. It's going to be Chernobog next on the list. Vicious Barrage, first of all, decrease the attack speed buff from 30 to 70. It's now going to be 20 to 60. So 10 at all ranks there. And Living Nightmare, we've decreased the Shadow Slow from 5% stacking 4 times to 4% stacking 5 times.
Yes.
So it's going to be the same amount overall, but take more stacks, and
Correct.
it's a slow attack anyway, right?
And it'll take longer. So the big thing here is we've seen him perform very well at the SPL level.
Yeah.
We've seen him also perform overall in stats. And one thing that he brings to the fight is that global ultimate where it's slowing everyone really effectively. Even if it's not the most powerful effect or the immediate effect, that slow really does add up and allows teams to engage really effectively or to be unable to disengage. And so by reducing the amount of slow it does and increase the stacks, so that it takes longer for that to get online, teams have more opportunity to counter and play around it. If you get hit by one, it's not as impactful as you got hit by one before. So just a small tone down to the ultimate, as well as reducing the amount of attack speed story that he gets from his Vicious Barrage. That should also make it so that he's a bit more easier to trade with when he dies onto a situation where he has the advantage.
Yeah, that's fair. After that, it's on to Fafnir. Fafnir going to get a bit of love this patch too. We're going to increase the base HP 5 on this character from 5 to 7. Underhanded Tactics as well will have a decreased mana cost. It was 70, going down to 60.
Yep.
And last but not least, Draconic Corruption. The the mana cost was 100. It's now going to be 70. So mana, really.
Yeah, a lot of mana changes here. So the base HP 5 is just going to help him stay out a little bit more. We've hit his healing a few times over the time. This kind of base HP 5 should also help him stay healthy. And then the mana cost reduction makes sure that, because when he has to transform, he has to use his mana pool twice.
Yeah.
So lowering those costs will help him actually, once he transforms, be able to continue his aggression and continue fighting.
Keep using those abilities.
Yeah.
And last but not least, on gods this week, I should say, and items, is Mercury. Made you look. We're going to decrease the base damage of this ability. It was 90 to 210. In the early game, it's going to go down. It's going to be 70, 105, but still ending at 210.
Yep.
It's the first couple of levels that really get hit. Well, all the levels outside of the last rank.
Yes. So I don't think it's to anyone's surprise that Mercury is a pretty good jungler. He has both early game clear, that's very effective. He's one of the faster clears, as well as he has that late game potential. And having both those strengths is something that's kind of really hard to deal with. And we've seen him have a big resurgence in popularity and performance. So we're just looking to tone down one of those aspects, and that's the early game clear. He'll still be pretty fast. He still runs around the jungle really quickly. His clear is still really good, but going down from 90 to 70 should make him a bit more comparable with other junglers so they can compete with him more directly early before his late game scaling starts taking him online.
One of you guys who have only just started tuning in right now, you've missed the balanced item section, but you can have a little recap of what the gods look like here on your screen. Camazotz and Fafnir are going to get a bit of love this patch, and a couple of nerfs to some of those prominent dominant characters we're starting to see round and about. Obviously, like we said, Pon, just to reiterate one more time, it's a little bit of a lighter patch at the moment, just because we've got the summer land coming up, and then after the land, we do a big changes as always.
Yep,
well,
big god changes. We got big new items coming in. Pretty cool stuff.
Did you just admit to new items coming in?
Yeah. It's something I can talk about.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun stuff.
It's interesting, that's for sure. With that, though, that's it for us. But let's head over to Aggro, who can break down the skins with some wonderful people on the couch.
Why, thanks, Graham. I'm wonderful too, but I know you meant it. You just didn't have to actually say it. Fair enough. All right, on the couch joining me, we got a couple familiar faces, Tina and Ben, as per usual, but a new face as well, Chris, joining the show. This is your first Patch Notes show, Chris. So first of all, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what you do at Hi-Res.
So I'm a technical artist at Hi-Res, working on SMITE. I worked with Hi-Res Stubbs, or Ashley, who you've seen on the Patch Notes show before. I will probably be replacing her on here. You won't see her too much anymore.
Oh no,
so sad.
Ashley's like, she's leaving us forever. That makes me feel sad. But
hearts are broken.
Chris, you're gonna do a great job as a replacement.
We can get him a wig. You won't know the difference.
I was gonna wear a wig. I was gonna say like, I'm Ashley, but it just didn't work out. I forgot.
Oh,
Sorry.
unfortunate. First of all, the voice
really
impression,
messed
spot
up.
on. For
Exactly.
what
I
it's worth.
sounded just like her.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
100%.
All right, well, let's get right into it then. First skin on the list, we've got Primal Fire Aries. Look, this skin, the detail right away just jumps off the screen art here. Tell me a little bit about this skin, Tina.
This skin, well, he is a dragon beast slayer dude.
Yeah, that's him.
And so what he likes to do is, well, I wrote him as a character who is kind of like has daddy issues, but also just grew up from, starting off really small, killing like baby dragons and
His
stuff.
dad was a dragon.
And then
Oh man, that would cause
and then
issues.
finally, that's why he has like, he's very, once you listen to him, he's very, tries too hard to be cool and just makes fun of everyone and is just a penis. So yeah.
All right.
Now he's like the
So,
master of the dragon killing.
Well, he looks like he's done a good job so far. He's covered in dragon scales and things like that. In fact, even his 2 looks like a little bit of scaly action there, Ben.
Yeah, so we're doing exactly what Tina said. We want to get some guy that kills dragons, and we want to do something special with this. A lot of the other Aries skins you've seen in the past, they have had a certain rig set up for the model that the proportions of his hands were pretty big, and it works pretty well for some skins, but not for every skin. So with this one, we really wanted to kind of change some of the proportions up on his hands to give us a lot more fidelity moving forward with other skins. So like a lot of the teams even though it doesn't seem like it's a lot of work, there's a lot of work went into this one just to change up a little bit of the proportions and stuff.
Yep.
His arms definitely look a little bit more like
Beefy.
defined.
You'll
yeah.
appreciate it like when you start seeing the animations. Like he looks a lot more natural and less like stylized.
And again, I'm noticing this more and more with skins that we're putting out. The ultimate sounds in particular, but just the sound design in general, just sounds a lot meatier. Here, take a listen. We'll be quiet so you can actually hear what we're hearing.
Caught a big one.
Like that buildup is
Yeah.
so cool, just so satisfying whenever you actually get that pool in. Really awesome sound as well, and the effects, the little like blue and orange certainly certainly fit nicely there with the overall theme of the skin. Let's take a listen to the voice back.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Do that again. Huh, impressive. I'm the Beast Slayer! You see that dragon over there? It is not very bright. Amazing. You really fell for that bait. Ladies love a big sword. I whip it out and everyone faints. It must take a look. That intimidating. I cut off the beast's head, and now I'm wearing it. Must be that intimidating. Don't worry. I cleaned it out first. Now let me take a look.
Oh man, you could really tell he grew up in a broken home, can't you, Tina?
Tina had a
Yeah,
whole lot of
he-
fun with that one.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too
What
much.
a poor lad.
Yeah, what
You know what
a
I'm talking about?
What?
He has to compensate for everything.
yeah. We got to give a shout out to the 2D concept artist here, Andy Tim. This is a really awesome big, like the modeling in general. Everything seems to fit.
Yeah,
very.
The whole team killed it. Annie did a great job. The animation team, the rigging team, modeling team, the whole team came together to make this one work.
Looks really good. That is Primal Fire Aries. Let's move on to one of the Divine Uprising event skins, Baroness Izanami. This is a skin that should look pretty familiar. If you've been playing Smite at all, I'm sure you've seen plenty of a Baron in your games. He's kind of everywhere right now. And Izanami's getting in on the cosplay action here, I guess.
Yeah, she's basically Baron's
Be very careful.
Friend. Lover? We can say that. We can go with...
yeah,
Tina,
or sister.
Oh.
I mean, we're not.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
even worse.
No, we're not. Don't put them together. I mean,
Oh, okay.
like
They hang
look
out...
very similar, so they could
Sure.
be any one of those.
They
three.
spend a lot of time together. What
Yes.
their relationship is
Yes.
kind of
It's up to you
up
to
in the
decide.
air. Right. Why need to put a
Choose
label
your
on
own
it?
Whatever
know?
you want it to be,
Right.
baby.
You don't.
It's complicated.
Exactly. You don't need to put a label on it. They hang out a
status.
lot.
It's
They spend a lot of
complicated.
time together. Baroness Izanami. Chris, what were some of the challenges involved with this skin in particular?
Well, Izanami's always a difficult character to work with because her sickles go in and out of combat. They'll disappear, and so we have a lot of issues on the animation tree side of things, making sure they actually show up in the game. If you guys remember back, Uller had some issues with disappearing axes on his T5 skin. We have a similar type of issue with Izanami, so we have to be really careful.
Well, these sickles are awfully bright whenever they're thrown, that orange sort of factor there, and so that orangish glow certainly part of this ultimate as well. Really, this color scheme that Baron has and that this skin has for Izanami just looks so good. It just looks so clean.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, the effects team did a great job on this for sure.
Baroness Izanami, one that you'll be seeing plenty of alongside Baron, most likely. Let's take a listen to that voice pack.
Woohoo! The spirits must guide your hands. Excellent! They confide in me. Are you here for the ritual? Are you the sacrifice? Your future don't be showing much promise. Yes, blame it on karma. It totally wasn't my spells, curses, and voodoo. My last lover was a prick, so I pricked him back.
Now, I don't know if it was last update show or the one before that, but I shared with you, chat, that whenever Tina really likes a voice pack that she worked on, she'll just stare at me and give me this weird look until I end up reacting. And I got some of that here. This was a fun voice pack to work on here, Tina.
Yeah, it was really fun. I really try and like do the accent that I want the actor to be doing in my head.
Okay.
So before I even cast them, so this was exceptionally fun for me.
And this one, in the voice actor for this did a good. You got the accent that you were looking for.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Lady Cleo. Call
Yeah.
me now for the free reading.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing the whole time.
sort of similar there. I see where you're going with that, Ben. All right, next skin on the list, Shadow Spirit Opwash. Again, this as well, part of the Divine Uprising event. Also part of the namesake of this update show, which is that Cyber Shadow. We'll get the second half of that. Well, I guess the first half. This is the second half in the next skin. But this one, I kind of teased it on the opening of the update show. There are things about this skin that just feel so good. And the first thing that jumped out to me is that like unstable sort of nature that you see with the texturing of the face. So what went into making that happen?
All right, so that's a lot of complicated technical talk, but basically in the material we just have there's a lot of material work in that, and there's a bunch of offset things that are undulating back and forth. So we just kind of had two different ones. They kind of move at different timings. So it creates this like weird like stuff's going on.
It's unsettling.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, no, zoom out. I don't want this. It freaks
and it
me
goes
out.
with his animations, right?
Yeah,
Like the animations
yeah.
are all like creepy, so it's like it's perfect.
Right. I mean, everything about this skin is just so unsettling, and it's perfect for the character that it's a part of. I mean, the animations here, Chris, just fitted so perfectly as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, just big shout out to the modeling team. Like, those materials are so much fun to look at. I love how they warble all over the place. It's so great.
Yeah, all the minions have that same
Ooh,
kind of
man.
like
It's so
undulation.
spooky.
It is.
This might even be too spooky for me. Like,
It's called UV distortion for anybody out there that's interested.
there you go, the little bit of technical
Yeah.
jargon.
Bringing out the big word.
Yeah.
That's right. This skin really awesome.
The effects look really good too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I think Chris Lee, he was on the show a while back. He killed it.
Man, this stuff
Yeah.
it's freaking me out already, in the best way, of course. All of those effects having that little warbly effect to them, and you even get the face on the fleeting breath. Nice little touch, as always, for those Opwash skins. Here's the ultimate as well. Empty the crypts. Man, even the sound effects are freaky.
Yeah. Spoopy.
Like I'm gonna be walking, like, you know, it's gonna be a late night. I'm gonna stay up past my bedtime. I'm gonna be heading to bed, and I'm gonna hear this noise, and
Some blue glow in the background.
Yeah.
Light blue. Oh shit.
I'm just gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lose it. I can't keep it together. The little slow-mo on the ultimate there is looking really good. Man, this skin is freaking me out. Let's go to the voice pack so it can probably freak me out a little bit more.
Woohoo! You're doing well. Fantastical. I am fun. Do not trifle with me, young one. Have you come to face your fate? How about this? We could have a dance-off, and if I win, I get to claim your firstborn child. Sound fun? For the longest time, I never thought people were real, until you showed up.
Okay. So at first, I heard the voice back. I was like, oh, he's not as scary as I thought. Super friendly. No, this guy's a psychopath.
Yes. So his story is that he's like really cute. So you want to, like, you know, come up to him and pet
Wait,
him.
you think that's really cute?
Yes. Like he has like no.
would you
Like
pet him?
he's
It's the
big friendly eyes.
Why are we
He's
petting him?
really cute, you know, like he's in this tree and he's staring down at you and his eyes are glowing. You're like, aww. But then he comes out and he eats your face, right?
Yeah.
This is him. This is what I imagine, because it's like the voice is so innocent, but then he's like,
It won't hurt when you're dead.
yeah, see?
Oh, yeah. I see, all right. I got there. I sure did. This skin spooks me in
It
a
just
way.
got a lot creepier too.
It really did.
The voice pack like that just.
And I got so baited by it. 'Cause
Your
at first, I
face,
really
dude, your
thought that it was
face.
like, it was going to be nice.
I really
And I was like,
wanted
oh,
to
okay.
record it too.
Man.
Missed the chance.
That was spooky. This one's going to be fun. All right, the next skin on the list, CyberFox.g, the other part of this Cyber Shadow update in 5.12. This as well, part of the Divine Uprising event. This one just has, for as spooky as the last one was, this one is just badass.
We try
Yes.
to really have a nice range in this one.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
The spooky, like the adventure type, and then more like the cyber, like sci-fi kind of look for this one.
Little, just it has that technical know-how. You know,
Yeah.
you don't get to have little like fiber optic wire tails like
Yeah.
that without knowing a thing or two about coding. You know.
Yeah.
You got to get there. Chaos is eventually going to be able to do this once he like ascends in his coding prowess.
He's already working on his tail. The first tail already popped out. I've
yeah,
seen it work.
exactly. He's the Chaos, the one tail.
They actually really freak me out because they remind me of tapeworms.
Okay. Thank you, Tina. That is something I will literally
Just like
never
9
forget.
tapeworms.
Yep.
But
Yep. I'm there. We got it from the first time you said it. We sure did. I love the little blue in there as well.
Yep.
Daji seems like a character that at base doesn't seem like she's going to have a lot of effects going on, Chris, but the team always somehow manages to like stick a little bit of extra on there.
Yeah, especially for her. And you can't see it here, but her intro lobby, she's got a lot of glitchiness, like teleportation effects on her as well that are really, really cool. Really sells the idea of this cyber-enhanced Daji.
It's like catching old people.
That's really awesome. Here's
yeah.
the alt.
So
I
if
love
you-
the blue characters in,
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
in the targeter.
If you look on the powwow, there's and like it's a throw out to the shout out to the EDM Knox, like up there, the singer one.
Oh, yeah.
There's advertising.
What is your legacy? What is your legacy? What's the significance of that? Is it just like your typical like EDM, like
Yeah.
sort of make you think about something while you're dancing sort of thing? Like that's what EDM
I think
does,
it's
right?
something like that. Maybe it's the hit single that EDM
Right.
Knox put out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
All right. I'm liking this backstory already, Ben. I'm liking where you're going with it. This is a really, really cool powwow. The
Yeah.
the Daji powwow is like the spot where you got to put all the extra stuff in. It feels like, and
It's a whole lot of work. Those things are separate models. Like it's
Oh,
a
really?
whole, yeah, it's a whole lot of work to do that stuff. Especially with that one, there's so much effects and like it's its own character on its own.
yeah, it feels like it.
Here, lowlife.
That's really, really awesome there. 3-man pull. Big plays by
This is
Pon.
definitely my favorite Daji skin.
Thanks.
This is badass.
Pon, let's take a listen to that voice pack, shall we?
Woo! You got some. That was dope. I'm the best there is. You are all a waste of time. Why am I even here? I'm too advanced for this. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna kick some ass.
She's
Okay,
sassy.
for serious. How do you guys live without Wi-Fi? Do you just stare at each other? You all look like you just stepped out of an RPG. Where am I again? It's like catching old people.
It's like catching old people. That's what it's like, huh?
Because you have to like, she's easy to catch the people who are so slow.
Ah, okay. Now I'm there.
That
She's
old
like
life.
young and millennial.
She's a young millennial.
This is how Tina talks the whole time. She's at work.
This is better
Yeah.
than the alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. That is CyberFox.g, one of the kind of the poster child for the 5.12 update show. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Chris, gotta say, for the first update show, great job, my friend.
Yeah, happy to be here. Always happy to jump on camera.
Awesome. Well, we're going to head it over to Gabby and Isaiah to go over some awesome stuff happening in the community.
Hey guys, Liz Tigris here with Isaiah for your community segment. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. Just saw some sweet skins. Which one's your favorite?
Definitely the Aries skin.
Yeah.
That armor is like A1. It's like he just went out, slayed the dragon, forged armor from it. So cool.
I think I've learned that my favorite part about that segment is the lessons learned from Tina, including that the big sword is to Primal Fire Aries as cars are to humans.
Definitely.
And then that those tails are actually tapeworms.
Yeah.
So I become a little bit more knowledgeable every single time we hear
That's
that
right.
segment.
You know, we talk around the office of just taking quotes from Tina and writing a book, and we would make so much money because she's got
Yes.
some real life lessons.
It needs to happen. But of course, we do have some updates for you. First of all, on the esports side, as some of you know, in the United States, it's a holiday on Wednesday, July 4th. So our broadcasts for SMITE will be taking place on other days. They're not canceled, they're just moved throughout the week. And if you want to take a look at the standings on how things are going in the SPL moving into week number 6, that's what we got for you right there. So make sure that you're keeping it locked on our official website for any of the information you need where you can catch those broadcasts. And then, of course, for account linking, want to give you an update on that. We are still working to make that possible. We want to ensure that it works properly on all platforms as we roll it out to you so that information as it becomes available can also be found on the website. But that's pretty much it for esports. Pretty light this week. What do we got on community side?
So it's light for esports. We've got a ton of stuff going on in the community. So as you said, next Wednesday is a holiday. So we'll be taking a break here at the office, but somebody else is going to be taking a break.
Oh.
You guys voted during the spring fling to disable Loki, and that day will be on Wednesday, July 4th next week. So make sure, call your friends. If Loki is the bane of your existence, next Wednesday is the time for you to log in and play some Smite. Hop into Arena, hop into Omnipotence. It's going to be a great day.
I feel like he's got to get pretty lonely at some point, how much just hate he's been getting from everybody. So I tend to be a bit sympathetic, and he's pulling at my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, and he kind of got word of what we were doing, and he's an angry god. So he kind of stormed into high-res, and he's slashing prices like left and right now.
Oh, really?
So like right now, you guys can actually get gem packs up to 35% off. Loki is not a happy god. He's slashing prices left and right. You can get gems up to 35% off, and that sale actually ends on July 4th. So be sure to take advantage. There'll be tons of chest sales going on in sale in-game as well.
Yeah, you might as well buy it before it's too late. It's one of those things that if you forget about it and then you go in and you're thinking, I want to save some money today.
Right.
Oh, wait, it's done. Cool. So don't let that happen.
Cool.
But
So
what else we got?
Next up, I just want to remind you guys for our Smite Xbox players, we've got an awesome deal going on with Games with Gold. Now until July 15th. You can get the Smite Gold Bundle to get $100 worth of Smite content for free, as long as you're an Xbox Live Gold member. Get 20 gods, 30 skins, voice packs, global emotes, tons of great stuff. It's an awesome bundle. Tons of people have been hitting me up on Twitter saying how good of a deal it is.
Oh, yeah. That's how you know.
Yeah.
They hit you up on social media.
Right.
Anything else that we got?
This is the best part of news. So, as you guys know, we've been doing voting rounds for this year's Ultimate Odyssey Reward, the Tier 5 skin. We started voting on Monday. We got all the way down to the semifinals between 4 Guardians, Ganesh and Cerberus, and Aries versus Athena. And I'm happy to announce that your final 2 will be Ganesh and Aries. So starting now, we're going to have a vote out. We'll have a post going out for you guys to submit your themes. Go ahead and get your ideas running, get those creative juices going. We want to hear what you guys have ideas for this year's Tier 5 skin. It's going to be great.
Any idea of which direction you think it's going to swing?
I'm definitely going Aries.
Yeah.
Aries is like one of my favorite gods. He's like one of the OGs, one of my first diamonds, so I'm definitely going Aries.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people showing love.
Yeah.
I need to hear some Ganesh love as well.
I'm sure there's some Ganesh
balance.
love, yeah.
Community, be vocal. But is that everything that we have on the community
everything.
side then?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Lots of updates there. That's why we kept it light on the esports side, because
yeah.
we had a lot on community
Exactly.
side. But thanks for joining us here for the update show. It was a pretty light one overall, but some interesting stuff to come out. I'm excited to look at those skins when they're available. So everybody, will leave you to it. Stay cool, friends.
But do you really know about trust?